the right thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. We know we've been saved by grace. And if that's the case, then that means that we haven't earned our salvation. That's what it obviously means. Remember we were reading in Romans about vessels of mercy, vessels of grace? Well, if you are one of those vessels, then you didn't earn that spot. Because if you did, then it is no more grace. It is a spot that can only be fitted by grace. Not any works or anything that you can do. You understand? For if it were based on works, then there would be no need for grace. Simple to understand, right? All right. Now, the people on the earth that you're dealing with, the tares, that is. The tares are children of the flesh, the scripture calls them as well. And these are not counted for the seed. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Isaac is Yahusha. Okay? For all those who don't know, Abraham represents Abba. That's why his name is Abba. Raham, father of many nations, father. Okay, so he represents Abba. The only begotten son of Abraham would be Isaac. So the only begotten son of the Father is Yahusha, who sacrificed his life, gave his life up, like Isaac when he laid his life on that altar. You see all these connections? Now, Ishmael would be a son of Abraham, but he's not counted as the seed. He would be a child of flesh. Now, why does Abba call him that? Because he was conceived from man's own imagination, from man's own will. And how do we know? Because we read about Abraham and Sarah coming together and saying, hey, I know Abba said this is going to be the case, but maybe he meant that we can have this child through Hagar. So they came up with this plan, and that's what they did. And out of that plan came Ishmael. Well, that's not Abba's will, is it? So then, who planted that seed? Well, when we read about the tares, Abba says that an enemy hath done this. And then he told you who the enemy was, the devil, the deceiver. So Ishmael was conceived in deception. Yes, Sarah and Abraham being deceived out of the promise that Abba had told them. And the promise still came to be. And that's what we want to talk about you elect. Remaining I am, despite what's going on. I'm hearing a lot of believers say that the thing that they're struggling with in this hour is their anger. I've heard it from more than one mouth. Out of the mouth of two or three, let a thing be established. So I can only assume that by what I've heard out of these two witnesses' mouth, that the elect right now are having issues with anger. Getting angry, lashing back, watching their mouth. These are things that I'm hearing. Choosing the right words, not speaking out of harshness and anger and maliciousness. Because of the tares around you. Well, Abba already told you that those tares around you are just children of the flesh. They were born out of deception. You see? And how can I make this plain for people today? That would be like a man and a woman getting married. Abba never told that man to marry that woman. This man just decided that's what he wanted. His own will. He lays with that woman and bears a child. Well, if Abba had wrote that man's story that he would have a child with a woman named Linda, but yet he lays with a woman named Sandra, and she has a child, well then that child would be the child of flesh. Ultimately, vanity. Is that not what a tare is? Now it seems harsh, don't it? But it's not harsh, because the author is who's the one who's writing our lives. And because of our own free will, Instead of choosing with our free will to submit ourselves to the will of the Father, we go off and create our own life. Well, that's only going to bring about tears and vanity. Like Ishmael. Now, when you read that story, you'll read in there where it says Abraham greatly distressed over having to kick Ishmael and Hagar out of his house. But the mother said, the free woman's child shall not be heir with the bondwoman's child. Excuse me, the bondwoman's child shall not be heir with the free woman's child. Bondwoman. Hagar was an Egyptian slave. Egypt means bondage. That's what the word actually means. So then Ishmael is the son of a bondwoman. And that child will not be heir with the child of the free woman. Y'all hear me today? So then that means that you children of the free woman, you hear me? Grace, mercy, those vessels, though you will not be cohabiting with the children of the bondwoman or the tares, you see, the children of the flesh. Humans have forgotten when they're having sex what they're actually doing. They don't actually know what they're doing. They think they're just getting a nut off or feeling some type of feeling. It's just real. But actually what you're doing is whatever you're feeling in that moment is manifesting in another being when you're creating a child. So if you're hiding, if you're being sneaky when you're doing it, think about what I'm saying. If you have doubt when you do it, what does the scripture say? Anything done with doubt is sin or error. Y'all follow this? So if you have a child in doubt, if you doubt when you're having that child, then that's a sin child. Now, how many people have a child and are doubting the whole damn time whether they would even let the child live? Should they get an abortion? Should they put the child up for adoption? Should they keep the child? And what's going to happen? Who knows? You see? All of that is doubt. So then a child who is not conceived in doubt would be a child of promise. Like Abraham's child, Isaac. When he laid with Sarah, he had an expectation that she would get pregnant. So then there's no doubt or fear or shame if she does, like there is in this world. Come on, y'all. A man get a woman pregnant. Uh-oh. People get to scratching their heads, getting nervous. Oh, shit. Looking at the pregnancy test all in his hand and shit. Oh, shit. Well, it's too late for you to be all shitting. What was you thinking when you laid with that woman and busted that nut and that sperm went and hit that egg? What were you thinking and feeling in that moment? Were you committing adultery? So we know your thoughts was all screwed up. Your feelings was all screwed up. Were you committing fornication? Well, then your feelings and thoughts were all screwed up. What do you think Abraham felt when he laid with Hagar? Do you think he had any doubt that whether what he was doing was right or wrong? God's will or not? Now, what about when he laid with Sarah? Okay, then. Do y'all understand it now? So then that don't change. Look, children of Abraham by faith. In order to be grafted back into the family, you're being grafted back into being a child of Abraham who lived by faith in God's promises. What God said was for you. You believe it. And so, is that going on in this world when people get together and they have children and make offspring? Nope. Most of the time, it's a lot of fear. Sometimes the people don't even know each other. Now, think about that child. But y'all ain't thinking about it when you're doing it. You see? But Abba was straight telling it to you. These are children of the flesh. The angel said to Christ, he said, these tares, where they come from? Shall I just uproot these damn things? Look how he feels about it. The angel pretty much saw human beings, which we'll call human beings on the earth, that weren't really true offspring of the Father. And then the angel said, well, let me throw them in the trash. You see how he didn't hesitate to say what to do with them? So then why are you hesitating? That's the purpose of everything that I just said to you. Why are you going back and forth with dealing with them? Why are you giving any all of this credence to what they're doing? Read about them. Read about the end of the tares. Those children who were born in doubt. You see? That's why he said great distress is going to come upon this land. It truly, really is. Because a lot of people, and I'm sorry to just say this to burst the bubbles of people that have been lying, but there are a lot of people today who are living who think that their father is somebody it's not. Abba says all things that are covered will be uncovered, including that type of shit. So you think it's going to cause great distress in somebody's family when they've been raising 6 or 7 children thinking that they're theirs and they're not? You hear me? You've been raising tares your whole life. You thought they were your little wheat, but they were tares. Somebody else, an enemy, had put them in there. Y'all don't want to hear that, though. Y'all don't want to think it's that real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anything produced of lust will cause problems. Let's just make it plain. Anything conceived in lust will cause problems. Plain and simple. Look at Eve. Anything, when your desire goes overboard, this is what happens. Oh, I want that girl. She's so fine. You lay with her and get her pregnant. You don't even know her. Uh-oh. Damn. Now the child is raised fatherless, an orphan. The woman is a widow now, single mother. Now, do y'all think Abba is pleased with that? All right then. So since Abba knew this, he gave certain vessels mercy and grace, what we've been talking about. Why? Because they were caught up with the tares. And they don't know it. And their hearts will be broken, a lot of them, when they finally realize that that's what it is. That's why he says you can't love your mother or your father or your children more than me. Because if you do, you won't be like Abraham, who gave Ishmael up. It's like people don't hear that when they read it. It's like they don't even know that part of Abraham's life. It says he was greatly distressed when he sent Ishmael away. So then any child of Abraham, are you better than Abraham? Then might you have to give up someone that you love who wasn't conceived in truth? If you come to serve Abba Yah, prepare your heart for tribulation, because you're about to see the truth. He who increases wisdom increases sorrow, because you're about to see the truth of your wife. You're about to see the truth of your child, your Ishmael. You're about to see the truth of your mother. You're about to see the truth of your father. And when I say that, that doesn't mean that all of these people in your life are tares. It just means that for you, it's going to be one of them. You feel me? You're going to fall into that category of a person who is going to have to break the cognitive dissonance you have in your mind about someone you're looking at. And you're giving all your emotions and your feelings to vanity, to a tare. It's empty. It can't utilize what you're giving it. I want you to understand that about a tare. A tare is a person who cannot utilize and benefit from what you're putting in. I'll give you an example. If you have wheat there and you plant it in the ground and it takes the nutrients from the ground, it's going to give you grain in return. It uses those nutrients to produce a grain so you can eat. A tare uses those nutrients to don't do shit but grow. That's all it do. Y'all like the way I put that? To don't do shit but grow. That's all it do. It don't give you nothing back. Okay, now watch this. Have you been in a relationship with a person who you just poured into and poured all your resources, all your time and care and empathy into them, and you didn't get anything back but a broken heart in return? Oh yeah, that's what a tare will give you. Because if you're starving and you don't know the difference between a wheat and a tare, and you're starving and you go out in the field and you're like, wait, there's full of wheat. And you break all that, what you thought was wheat, open when you get home, you're going to be heartbroken when the reality sets in that it's not wheat you got. Yeah, you hear that? So when Abraham looked at Ishmael and realized this ain't wheat you got, he had to sift it away from his wheat. They can't be in the same place. I will gather my wheat into my barn, and I will put the tares and burn them. Y'all hear that though? So Ishmael and his mama went out into the wilderness. Y'all remember that? And they was burning. They thought they was going to die. They was out there in the desert smoking. I'm just telling you the truth. And if it were not for Abba's grace, they would have perished. You see that? But for Abraham's sake, he had compassion. That's simple. Though they don't be children of the promise. What is the promise? That we would receive grace. That we would be born again. That Sarah would have a child, a promised child. That's us. The elect. You see that? Sarah representing wisdom. We are the children of wisdom. Wisdom is our mother, Marihala, who cried in the streets for us. They knew not that wisdom was the mother of them all, it is written. Those children are not children of wisdom. Look at how they live their life. Look at how they think. They are children of vanity. No matter how pretty they look on the outside, no matter how beautiful that shell look, it's what's on the inside that counts. And until niggas realize that, they're going to keep bumping their head. They're going to keep doing it. Oh my God, that girl is so fine. Lay with her, she has your kid. You don't ever see your kid again because she takes that kid away from you and destroys the child. And you're like, wait a minute. You're fighting 30 years with this damn woman over your alimony, child support. She done took your house from you. All kind of shit that you went through with a damn terror that's only designed to suck up resources to destroy them. They don't know how to take resources and do anything positive with them and give you anything back. That's not what they do. They destroy. But the angel said, let's tear them up. Abba said, no, let them grow together for a while. That's been y'all. But if you're a vessel of grace, then you're going to come out of that stupor you were in, because it's very important that y'all realize that this world is run by Satan. Satan is the god of this world, it is written. And when we were in sin, we were led about by the prince of the power of the air. Y'all hear that? We didn't even know we were serving Satan. We were being compelled by him, because you can't resist his compelling unless you have Yahusha, the blood of Christ, on you. Yahusha proved in the 40 that he could resist and overcome. And so through him we do. But if you lean into your own power, you ain't gonna be able to do a damn thing but die. Y'all see that? Hold on one second, y'all. The scriptures is very clear in saying that the people of this world is blinded, don't it? Now my question to you is, who blinded them? They were blinded by the God of this world. You see that? So, you notice how Abba said, come out of this world? And that there's a God of this world who's blinded the people of this world? You see how it all connects? It ain't even hard. That's why he gave you grace. He allows Satan to do what Satan is doing to this world because of the wickedness of the hearts inside of men. He's only giving them what they want. They say, hey man, I want to be free and do this and do this and do this. All right, go ahead on and have it. That's the deception you asking for. So let me call up the deceiver to come deceive your ass. You can't resist his deceiving. Just like Eve couldn't resist it. Yahusha can. But y'all fight against Yahusha and resist Yahusha and go out here thinking that you can form your own will like I told you. All right then. That's all right. Go ahead. It's all good. I don't expect y'all to do anything less. The Bible already said it. He has given them over to blindness. He's blinded them. He has given them over to a reprobate mind. You hear that? So now, is your anger going to change their reprobate mind? Is your bitterness going to change their reprobate mind? Are they going to stop fucking with you because you don't like when they do? They're going to stop messing with you because you don't like it? Is that how it goes? No, they're going to exist together until the time of separation. Nah, during the time of separation, baby, you better be out of the way. You better duck from that sickle. You understand what I'm saying? You better get on up out of the way. You hear me? That's what he said. Come out of the world that you be not partakers of her plague. You hear that? What happens to a field when the locusts come through? So if you have a field with wheat and tares in it, what happens to the wheat and the tares when the locusts come through? Is gone. That's right. Boop. It's gonna get swallowed up like boop. You hear that? That's a plague. Well, that's what's coming. It's gonna eat you up too, unless you was plucked up by grace. The only way you can make it out is to be plucked up. Now, watch this? When you look over the field of the wheat, the gardener or the husbandman is the one deciding which wheat is going to get plucked up and saved, because he sees the plague coming in. He called it in. So he says, you know what? Let me go on and take mine out first. That's called grace. The apple on the tree don't know which one he is that's going to get picked. He don't know it. The puppy in the kennel at the Humane Society don't know he going to get picked. He has no idea. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? I like that analogy, Abba. Let's use that real quick. When you go to the pet shop or to a kennel or anywhere to get a puppy, you haven't seen the puppies yet. Let's say there are 10 of them. Now, out of those 10 puppies, when you walk in the room, they don't know. They don't know which one is going to get picked. You, by some series of events, come to your conclusion for one reason or another. And you chose the puppy you chose for the reason you chose it for. Everybody wouldn't have chose that puppy you picked. Little Fluffy. That's what we're going to call the little puppy you picked. Little Fluffy. Everybody wouldn't pick Little Fluffy, but you did, because he was the one that stood out to you and you favored, like Israel was with God. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Now, what caused you to pick him over the other ones? You have your reasons. Now, does that mean anything less about the other ones? They're going to be mad at Little Fluffy because he got picked. The other puppy's going to be mad at Little Fluffy. Damn, Little Fluff. I don't even get what the hell he would pick you for. You're not even cute. You're this, you're that. You're too small, or you're too big, or you drool too much, or whatever in the hell. Fluffy's gone in the bosom of his new owner now. While you niggas are still out there in the pen, screaming and hollering for somebody to come buy your ass. That's the case. So now, Little Fluffy, you, elect, don't be angry and barking back. You picked. That's the way it is. Or else you wouldn't even be listening to this right now. The world don't got time to listen to what I'm talking about. They don't. They don't have the patience for it, man. People got a real short attention span. You have to be a unique individual to hear what I have to say. Okay, maybe y'all don't believe me. Let's see. Yahushua said, I speak in parables. And they said, why? He said, because I don't want everybody to understand it. Well, it's the same thing with the grandson. He speaks in such a way that only unique, called out individuals would hear it, would sit and listen to the whole matter. Even when it's uncomfortable to hear it, they will sit and hear it if it's true. They are concerned with the truth. The elect cleave to the truth. Yahushua is the truth, by the way. He's the word. He's the truth. Thy word is truth. It is written. So then they're the ones who stick to Yahushua. So when his voice speak, they hear it and they follow him. That's what's written. So then if somebody's speaking to you and they ain't using no words of Christ, why in the hell are you listening? That's my question to you. Why are you listening to what they have to say if they're always leaving out the cornerstone? That's my question for you. I said, that's my question for you. Why are you listening? Why do you feel anything when they talk if they ain't talking about Yahusha and what he said? Because back to what I said earlier, giving y'all a little mystery here. Yahusha's Isaac. Now remember, Yahusha said, Abraham saw my day and rejoiced in it. And they said, you ain't even 50 years old. Abraham's grave is here with us to this day. And you say, he rejoiced to see your day. not understanding what he meant. Abraham rejoiced when he took Isaac off of that altar and put that ram in its place. Y'all hear me today or what? Do you hear me today or what? Do you hear me today or what? Do you hear me today or what? So what that mean, grandson? That means Abraham rejoiced because the sins of the world were not placed on his only begotten son. They were put on a scapegoat. And in this case, a ram caught in a thicket. Azazel. All the world's sin will be ascribed to his ass because he is the father of it. You see all of these women walking around wearing makeup and painting up their faces? Yeah, Azazel. All these men that learn how to make all these weapons and kill lots of people? Yeah, Azazel. You see? That's what Abraham rejoiced about. He didn't have to sacrifice his son. There was a sacrifice that was provided in its place. You see that? You just got to know that Isaac is Yahushua. You see that there? You see that there? That's right. That's why the Bible says, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see? The father, the son, and the grandson. Jesse, David, Solomon. Abba, Yahusha, John. Abba, Adam, Abel. Yeah. You feel me? You feel me? They mad because of the sacrifice that we gave to Abba. We gave up. He says if you give up your mother, your house, some have given up land, titles, reputation. For my name's sake, if you do, then you will receive 100-fold. Those terrorists weren't willing to give up nothing for Christ. You hear me? Just the illusion that they're giving something. Why? Because that's the way the story goes. When we get to the grandson part of the story, listen to me, y'all. When we get to the grandson part of the story, here comes a little red stinking ass devil to try to kill and destroy it. Let's see. Let's see. God, Adam, Abel. Here comes Cain. Yep, just like I thought. Now let's see if it do it again. Because if it do, that's 2 witnesses. All right, let's see. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then here comes another red fucking devil. His name is fucking red. Yep, there it is again. So then when a grandson comes, a red stinking devil comes. Now watch this. Ain't there an Antichrist supposed to come in the last days? Well, then that means we at the grandson part of the story. Now who talking to you? That's right. All right. Let it sink on in if you can. Because you can't deny what I'm telling y'all. It's true. That's why I'm the one telling you about these things. You see, I've been given grace. Read the Bible. It will tell you all about it. I'm not hiding a damn thing. I'm straight telling y'all this shit today. It said the branch. Behold the servant whose name is the branch. Look at him standing there in his filthy garments. So if he had on filthy garments, what do filthy garments represent, Abba Yah? They represent his iniquities. Okay, well, we can scratch Jesus Christ from being the branch, even though he already said he's the true vine. He never said he was the branch, but people got that shit confused. So let's clarify it. Yahushua did no sin and had no iniquity. So that couldn't be him standing there named the branch with the iniquities on him. Abba said, take his filthy garments off and put the garments of a priest upon him. Now, does it say the branch is a king and a priest? Yes, it do. So then we ain't lying about nothing. Now, if he was taking off his filthy garments and giving clean garments, then that means he was giving grace then, wasn't it? So then if I've been given grace, what shall I do but give it? So I ain't mad. I'm not stressed out. I'm not bitter. I'm not backbiting. I'm not looking back and turning to no damn pillar of salt. I'm not hating. I'm not complaining. I'm not murmuring. I'm not speaking against my Father. I'm not speaking down or speaking vanities of his name either. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to keep on stepping until the end. And you know why? Because he has already promised me his grace. The hell I'm mad at another nigga just because he mad because he ain't got what I got. Okay, Cain, you was mad at Abel. Okay, Esau, you was mad at Jacob. So if I be the grandson, who the fuck gonna be mad at me? That same damn red devil. The same one that's mad at you. You just gotta know it today. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. Why the hell are you arguing with them? Why are you mad at them? You're wrestling not with flesh and blood. You wrestle against powers, principalities, spiritual wickedness. Spiritual, unseen is what that means. That's what you're wrestling against. So if you don't accept it today, then you're going to lose. That's how that goes. You see? But that's all for now. I'm a little fired up. Had to go for a walk, but it's cold. HE double hockey sticks, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Still on the side.